And they had a clip of her on one of these news shows, and she said Hitler, and as a comparison to what's going on, and the dude looked like he was going to punch in the face. He said the interview was over. We don't hear it.
Yeah. That's how it rolls.
We're not going to let you say Hitler and George Bush in the same name.
And we're going to have her on soon, Naomi Wolf. She wrote the Fairness Doctrine, I believe it was also, or it wasn't the Fairness Doctrine. She wrote a book about it. It's End of America. It's actually a great movie. We'll be back after this with Patrice O'Neal, Infowars.com, PrisonPlanet.tv. We're back. It's the final segment with Patrice O'Neal. And, eugenics is really one of those big keys because if you look at it, the Nazis and their eugenics program is really what led to modern medicine today. It's how we knew how long to keep somebody open during surgery because they were just doing that to people, how much the body could take when it was heated up. They were doing that to people, how many sedatives the body could be on. I mean, the Nazis were really at the forefront of eugenics. And, you mentioned that the End of America movie, and another thing that the Nazis did that I think is important that people realize is that they used a false flag terror event, the burning of the Reichstag, and they go over that in the End of America, to get the people into that fervor. So they really used two of those main tools that I talk about. The only thing they really didn't, and they kind of did because of the monetary system was so low there and they were so desperate, they really used false flag terror to bring in an era of eugenics. I mean, it's the Nazi philosophy.
And it was easy for the people to get behind what they did because they were so poor. And that's another thing is now you putting people in a position now to be homeless and poor. So if you give them terrible jobs, they might be a lot more open to committing terrible acts of anything against their fellow man because of the situation with the economy, man. Money. That's why I'm trying right now mentally. Because I call it golden handcuffs, or I don't call it, but the term is golden handcuffs, where, I used to be crazy, man. Like, I would be, when I was coming up, I had bad credit, bad everything, bad luck, so everything in my life was bad, so anything bad that came around, I laugh at. Really? More bad news? Really? Yeah, whatever. Now, my mother's credit gets better. She helps me sign over, she helps me co-sign for a truck. I pay on that truck on time for 2 years. I get enough credit to buy a house. I get a house, a truck, and everything else. Now my credit is, I got white guy credit, you know what I mean? Up in the low eights. So I'm walking around like, who are you? I'm walking around like Rockefeller. Excuse me, everyone? Now I have to learn how to get out of that zone where I'm trying to keep what I have, where I'm trying to hold on to fiction. My credit is fiction. You know what I mean? It's something that they decide on whether they're going to take it away from me or not. I mean, I call the bank to hear my credit, or not hear my credit, but to hear the amount I have in the bank, my balance, and I'm crossing my fingers because I don't know if something happened, some bill happened where they're gonna take my money. Like, I feel like a victim, and I'm trying to go mentally. I have to revert back into having nothing to be able to survive. To be a guy that has bad luck, like, hey, we're gonna turn your lights off. That's all right. I got candles. You know what I mean? To not fear everything. And I think that's another big thing is the fear. Like, I travel a lot, man. When I go to the airport, I try to learn every little fictional right that you have, that you don't have to take your hat off. Like, I keep on all my clothes. I get dressed. So I don't want to be naked. Like I said on the radio once, you got to dress like an Arab to get through the airport on time. You got to wear a long shirt and some sandals just to get through so you can catch your plane. But I go to the airport 2-3 hours ahead because I know I'm going to get accosted, but I'd rather get accosted and checked and still keep my chain and my watch and my hat and my socks and my pants on so that I can feel like a damn human being. You know what I mean? But we're so afraid. They use the fear that we have of being annoyed or being inconvenienced or losing what we got as just a ploy, man, for us to walk around and say, yes, sir, no, ma'am, yes, ma'am. We have no revolutionary backbone right now, man. People are afraid.
Oh, they are afraid. And you know what? They don't even understand what the revolution was all about. They don't understand it was because of all this excessive taxing. And right now, I mean, more than half of our money is going to taxes between, the federal income tax, state taxes, the taxes you pay when you go to the store and buy something. These guys are just I mean, there's a tax on everything. Whether
and
you're
Alan Greenspan, this is the thing to go back to the first thing I said in the show. Alan Greenspan ain't gonna come to your door and come get you. You know, he ain't going to come get you. The head of the Treasury Department is not going to come and get you. Obama's not going to come and get you. You know, they're not coming to your door. They're going to send somebody that's you to come and take your stuff, and with a big fat smile on his face, he's going to take your house, or he's going to take your car, or he's going to take your credit. He's going to take your ability to live life in a decent way in 2 or 3 or 4 years. If you have trouble and you fall on hard times because you thought that you was going to have, look at all the people that Bernie Madoff got, man. There's people who were getting ready to retire who's you know, cooking spaghetti for a living now, and nobody's there to care. Nobody cares.
Yeah,
that's where we got to start, Jason. We got to start from the ground up, man. We got to start caring. This is why when Obama got voted in, why it was such a surprise for me.